Have you ever played with fire and found yourself burning in ways you never imagined? What happens when a chance encounter at an art gallery in New York City spirals into a night of raw, unbridled passion that blurs every line between desire, connection, and spontaneity? This isn't just another love story. It's a heart-pounding, soul-stirring journey of seduction and electrifying moments that redefine everything. Before I unravel the breathtaking details of a night that shattered every conventional rule of romance, take a deep breath. This story isn't for the faint of heart. If you've ever felt the wild pulse of unexpected desire, or wondered what could happen when two magnetic strangers vie for your attention, buckle up. Some stories are meant to be whispered, some are meant to be shouted. This one, it's about to set your world ablaze. He was standing by a massive painting in a sleek Manhattan gallery. Honestly, I couldn't tell you what it was. Splashes of paint, a chaotic rainbow of colors swirling like a storm. But he wasn't looking at the art, he was looking at me. Tall, dark, and outrageously handsome, his tailored suit hugged his frame perfectly. His hair was slicked back with effortless sensuality, and his mischievous smile made my cheeks flush instantly. His gaze was like a spark igniting something deep inside me. Admiring the chaos, he asked, nodding toward the painting. I laughed nervously. "Oh, it's definitely colorful." He chuckled, and I swear that laugh felt like winning a prize. "I'm Ethan," he said, extending his hand. His handshake was warm, firm, and when his thumb brushed mine, a jolt of electricity shot through me, making my heart skip. We started talking, and within minutes I was hooked. Ethan was confident, charming, with just the right touch of sarcasm. He owned a small design firm in Brooklyn and had a habit of crashing art exhibits for fun. "Gotta keep life interesting," he said with a wink that sent my pulse racing. His voice was like velvet wrapping around me, pulling me closer. I was about to ask him more when someone interrupted. "Stealing my date already, Ethan?" I turned to see another man approaching, and let me tell you, this guy was just as striking. Golden blonde hair, piercing blue eyes, and a jawline that could cut glass. He was more casual than Ethan jeans, a leather jacket, and a cool, effortless vibe that made me do a double take. His presence was like a summer breeze, warm and impossible to ignore. "Date?" I asked, raising an eyebrow. He grinned. "Not yet, but give me 5 minutes." Ethan rolled his eyes. "This is Lucas," he said. "Ignore him. He's just here to ruin my night." Lucas slid closer, his voice smooth as whiskey. "I'm here to save the night." These events are so dull, don't you think? And just like that, I was caught between two breathtaking men, both undeniably magnetic and clearly trying to outshine each other. The air crackled with their rivalry, and I was the spark in the middle. As the night wore on, the tension between them grew hotter. They competed over everything: who could make me laugh harder, who could name the most obscure artwork, who could refill my champagne flute faster. I was dizzy from all the attention, my heart racing like a runaway train. Finally, Lucas leaned in close, his voice low and conspiratorial. "This place is a snooze. Let's get out of here. There's a jazz bar a few blocks away in Greenwich Village that'll blow your mind." Ethan didn't miss a beat, stepping in. "Or we could head to my place. I've got a rooftop view of the city that's better than any bar." Both men looked at me, waiting, their eyes locked on mine. My heart pounded, not just from the champagne. I felt like I was standing on the edge of a cliff, the thrill of the unknown pulling me forward. What do you even do in a moment like that? Then an idea sparked. "Why don't we do both?" I said, grinning. Their eyes widened, but neither objected. It was like the universe had just handed me the keys to an adventure I couldn't resist. The jazz bar was dimly lit, buzzing with life, filled with the soulful wail of live music and the hum of conversation. Lucas led the way, weaving through the crowd like he owned the place. He pulled us to a table near the stage and ordered a round of drinks. His hand brushed mine as he handed me my glass, his touch sending a shiver down my spine. "Like it?" he asked, nodding toward the band. I nodded, sipping my cocktail, the flavors bursting on my tongue. It was perfect, but it was his gaze that made my heart stutter. Ethan leaned in from the other side, his voice warm against my ear. "Wait till you see the view at my place." His words were a promise laced with heat, making my skin tingle. I felt pulled in two directions, both men equally captivating. Lucas was the life of the party, cracking jokes and making the room feel like it revolved around him. Ethan was quieter, but intense, his eyes lingering on mine like he was memorizing every detail. Each glance, each word felt like a brushstroke on a canvas painting, a night I'd never forget. When we left the bar, I was dizzy, not just from the drinks, but from the thrill of being with them. Ethan's penthouse in Midtown was stunning, sleek, modern, and undeniably expensive. But the rooftop, it was breathtaking. The New York City skyline stretched out before us, a sea of twinkling lights against the velvet night. The city hummed below, but up here it was just us, wrapped in a bubble of desire. I barely noticed the view, though, because every sense was consumed by the two men standing so close to me. Ethan moved first, stepping in front of me, his dark eyes catching mine, the city lights reflecting in their depths. His hand reached up, brushing my cheek as if testing if I was real, his touch igniting a fire under my skin. When his lips finally met mine, it was soft but deliberate, like he'd been waiting for this moment. His kiss was a slow burn, pulling me into a world where nothing else existed. The kiss deepened, his hand sliding to the back of my neck, pulling me closer. His scent, clean, woody, and faintly intoxicating, wrapped around me, making it impossible to think of anything else. My heart raced, my body alive with every touch. My pulse quickened as his other hand found my waist, firm, yet gentle, grounding me as the world tilted beneath us. Then, just as I was losing myself in him, I felt Lucas step behind me. His presence was like a lightning bolt, electrifying the air. His warmth pressed against my back, his hands settling on my hips. Where Ethan was controlled, precise, Lucas was wild, untamed. He leaned down, his breath hot against my ear. "Hope you didn't forget about me," he whispered, his voice low and teasing, sending shivers down my spine. His words were a spark fanning the flames already burning inside me. Before I could respond, Lucas's lips found the curve of my neck, his stubble grazing my skin in a way that made my knees weak. My body leaned into him, instinctively caught in a dance of heat and desire. I was pressed between Lucas's warmth at my back and Ethan's solid strength in front of me. Ethan's hand slid lower, his thumb pressing into my hip as his kisses trailed along my jaw. Lucas's grip tightened, his fingers tracing my sides, his movements sure but unhurried. The contrast between them, Ethan's calculated precision and Lucas's raw, unrestrained energy, was intoxicating, setting my senses on fire. The cool night air kissed my skin as Lucas's hands moved higher, grazing the edges of my waist, while Ethan's lips found my collarbone, each kiss sending tiny waves of heat coursing through me. Their touches were seamless, like a choreographed dance, each move perfectly in sync. Lucas gently turned me, guiding me until I faced him. His blue eyes pierced mine, a playful glint dancing behind them as he tilted my head up to meet his lips. His kiss was rougher, more demanding, his fingers threading through my hair like he never wanted to let go. It was a kiss that claimed, that consumed, pulling me into a whirlwind of sensation. Then Ethan was behind me, his hands firm on my hips, grounding me as Lucas's kiss stole my breath. I could feel Ethan's steady breaths against my back, his chest rising and falling in time with mine, anchoring me in the chaos of desire. Every movement was deliberate yet natural, their hands and lips exploring with an intensity that made my head spin. The city's hum faded, leaving only the rhythm of their touches, their whispered words, and the soft creak of the rooftop railing as they moved around me. The air on the rooftop grew warmer, their heat enveloping me, pulling me deeper into the moment. Ethan's fingers grazed the hem of my dress, lifting it slightly while Lucas's hands traced patterns along my back. The contrast was overwhelming, Ethan's firm grip holding me steady, while Lucas's touch sparked anticipation like a storm waiting to break. Their breaths mingled with mine, the city's sounds fading into the background, until all I could hear was the cadence of their movements, their soft murmurs, and the faint creak of the rooftop railing. Lucas's lips moved to my shoulder, his stubble grazing my skin, making me shiver, while Ethan's hands slid higher, his thumb pressing deliberate circles into my sides. Their warmth, their rhythm, their differences, it was a symphony of sensation, overwhelming in the best way. I don't know how long we stayed like that, the three of us tangled together under the stars, but every moment felt like forever and not long enough. Their hands, their lips, the way they seemed to know exactly what I needed. It wasn't just physical. It was a perfect harmony of touch and connection that left me breathless, my heart soaring. Finally, we collapsed onto the rooftop's cushioned lounge, the cool night air brushing our flushed skin. Ethan grabbed a folded blanket from the corner, draping it over us, as Lucas stretched lazily, a satisfied smile on his face. "Not bad for a first rooftop adventure," Lucas said, grinning as he propped himself on an elbow. Ethan rolled his eyes but didn't respond, instead, turning to me, his hand brushing a stray lock of hair from my face. "You okay?" he asked softly, his voice so genuine it made my chest ache. His concern wrapped around me like the blanket, warm and grounding. I nodded, my heart still racing. Better than okay. It was a truth that resonated deep in my soul, a moment I'd carry forever. The three of us lay there for a while, the city lights twinkling above us as reality slowly crept back. But in that moment, wrapped in their warmth, I didn't care about anything else. We'd shared a night of raw passion, unexpected connections, and a moment that suspended reality like a star frozen in the sky. I want to hear from you. Have you ever had a night that completely rewrote the rules? A moment of connection so intense it changed everything? Drop your story in the comments below. Share the spark, the fire, the connection. Let's break the silence together. Your story could be the next to leave everyone breathless. Comment now and don't hold back.